Guys, Jarek Crew is here.
There's a lot of things you just can't control within prep, but posing is definitely one of them that you can control. You want to be able to really maximize the variables that you can control in prep and the package that you bring to the stage.
Classic IFBB pro, known for his elite posing amongst the likes of Terence, Ruffin, other great posers, and coach at Camp Jansen, Matt Jansen's competition prep coaching.
Coming off of just like a 2-year off season, hitting a stage in Atlanta, even more, placing second. It kind of is like reminiscent of Chicago Pro.
One placement from Olympia. That's crazy.
So prior to peak week, I was at 110 milligrams, 85 milligrams of, and 25 milligrams of.
Bro, crazy.
I even came with a pink hair, arnoplastic. I literally went up to Steve. I said, hey, bro, do you think any of this affects my score? He's like, I don't care what. We're judging your physique.
What would be the things that you would recommend the most for someone to maximize their posing skill?
I'm not saying you should do this, but
I try to avoid that shit.
Are we rolling?
When I'm on cycle.
We're rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling. I normally decide randomly whenever I want to start it, but I just like to go because I don't like podcasts to be like, sit down and be like, this person is this person, and then get all like official and everything, and then I feel like it gets really rigid and I just don't feel myself.
I feel like
I just like to run
once I knew that, like, I knew it was going to be pretty dope because I didn't get it outlined like through email.
Oh yeah, I don't.
This is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I don't fucking do outlines. I like casual conversation. I feel like that's what makes it the most fun. Plus, people seem to resonate with it the most. So, Whoa, that looks terrible though. Gosh dang it.
Oh, you can see.
But I need to adjust my screen real quick because I'm totally cropped out.
Oh, you can see that?
A second. Yeah, I can switch my screen around.
Oh,
I bought a new camera because my other one broke. But I always make sure that I have a camera where I can switch the screen around for vlogging and podcasting purposes, because most of the time I got nobody to help me.
Yeah, man, that's the life of a entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur, you hear that?
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, I am the farthest thing from an entrepreneur, but I will take it.
It's a big responsibility.
Happy birthday, by the way, bro. 2 days?
2 days.
2 days, baby. Let's go.
I won't be here, so thank you.
You won't be here?
No, I won't be at your house.
You'll be at my house. Wait, what?
I won't be at your house.
Oh, you won't be at my house.
I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate the early.
For a second, I was like, you're going to be at my house on your birthday? That's fucking ridiculous. My house sucks. That's fucking sick.
Not that bad.
I was listening to one of the podcasts you were having. They were mentioning that you were you're competing on a show August 18th or something, and it was your birthday 2 days before. I don't know if that was last year or what, but
that probably was like the first year I ever competed.
Damn, that was far back.
The Dexter Jackson Classic.
Damn.
Yeah.
I creeped down and
it was like
deep in those files.
Yeah, August 18th.
Gotcha.
I believe. Well, it was crazy because, I mean, it's my first year competing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, I got a perp on my birthday.
What year was that?
I think 2016.
2016. First year. Damn, that's a long time ago, bro.
Yeah, I've been in
holy shit, 8 years? God damn.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but
wait,
I've been in the game.
I think I got you beat. I think my first year competing was 2015.
Shit. Fucking old ass.
Old ass. We are old asses. I'm Asian though, so people think I'm younger than I am. It's lucky. There's like 1% of the population that's like, don't take steroids, you're gonna look old as him, and then the rest of them, everybody guesses that I'm younger than I am.
Wait till y'all green tea.
Wait till you're green.
Y'all don't age. Y'all don't age at all.
Till we hit menopause. Cool. We're Leo brothers. Yeah. My birthday's August 21st. That's the only reason I can tell.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
My daughter's birthday is August 21st.
Your what?
My daughter's birthday.
Oh, no shit. That's awesome. Well, that's fucking sick, dude. Well, happy early birthday to your daughter, too.
Appreciate it, bro. Likewise, man. Yeah. She's getting big, man. She's turning 6. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, man. Ever since she's come into my life, bro, like, a lot of things have changed, It's one of those things where, like, you're never ready to be a father until you're a father. You know what I mean? And I try to tell a lot of people who are, like, just curious about it or wanting to have kids, like, it's never the right time. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, there's no handbook. You just got to kind of, like, roll with the punches. You know what I mean? Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's one of the most laudable goals that somebody could do, is be a parent. And I have a lot of friends that I look up to, because just like you, man, you guys are grinding, doing so much work in the bodybuilding space as well, even still competing to this day, and you have kids to take care of. And I'm just like, wow, bro, I barely have time for myself. Yeah. Like the festivals, the events people see me go to, that's like, no one sees the stress behind us trying to schedule and fit that in to the schedule, and then pack up, go to something, come back and freak out because I'm like, fuck, I have a podcast the next day. God, unpack and clean the place before then, etc. I'm always like slamming my family time in the week if possible. Otherwise, I'm working like basically 6 days a week, you know, at least 10 to 12 hours per day.
It's tough, man.
So with a kid,
yeah, you know, I mean, you got to think about bodybuilding alone is very demanding, very time demanding sport. I mean, I think it's the only sport where it requires like every minute, every hour of the day. Everything is about timing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so you factor that in. And then also like being a coach myself for about 10 years now, you're managing 30, 50, 60, 80 clients. You know, it can be draining, you know, and what I've come to find out is like there is no balance. And I think that's with everything in life. Like if you're trying to get somewhere in life, there's not going to be any sort of balance that you can create, but being able to have that support system that understands the requirements and what's necessary to get there is that balance, right? Because through understanding, they're able to say, okay, I know he's doing this. I know this is the game plan for this amount of years. Know where we're headed, and they kind of pick up the gaps. You know, so that's where my wife comes into play. She's been doing awesome. You know, it was rough at first, for sure, for her the transition to bodybuilding, because she met me before I started bodybuilding, and when I got into it, it was just like a lifestyle shock. So for her, it was pretty tough. I think every show or every prep leading into a show, we were always in a dark place, like on edge. Like if I was hanging off a cliff and I had like one pinky left, she would like kick it off. But you know, things are getting better now, bro. Like it's just giving you a prime example, you know, it's just there's no balance, you know, essentially. And to be frank, like the time spent with my daughter is kind of slim, you know, through the day, through the week. I may have a couple of days with her, like full day, you know, but lately I've been so locked in for this show, and the daily routine is so locked in. There is like a small window of time where I'm available. Yeah. That's just a fact.
I can feel that in my own schedule. Just having issues, having trouble being attentively responsive to the degree that I would like to be to like the people that are asking for my time or attention, in whether it be business related or simply like friends and family. I always find myself like not being able to respond till like the end of the day, or being caught up in the middle because I have like alarm set for like, for example, for every single meal, and then I have an alarm set for whenever I need to go to the gym, and then I also have scheduling set for whenever I need to film while I'm at the gym. So hopefully I have somebody to film with me, because that normally makes the process slightly easier. But unfortunately, filming at the gym does take extra time out of your day. It's not just a 2 hour, 1.5 hour workout anymore. Now there's some extra time into it, which luckily, if you can keep the intensity up, doesn't take out way too much from your workout, but it does prolong it. And then
ask you, like, do you do it after the pump or during the training session?
Well, if I'm doing something for like, say, Instagram or something that's quicker, say like I'm just filming one set, I'll focus on my workout the entire time. And then the last maximum effort set, that's probably the one I will film. Yeah. And then hopefully that won't really take out very much of my time. If it's a YouTube video, then it's completely different. Yeah. Just, you know, I'm talking to the camera for a good portion of it, so it changes things. And then obviously you have your 45 minutes to an hour of cardio afterwards, especially if you're on prep, or if you're trying to do it fast in the morning. and then an assortment of various meetings and calls scheduled throughout the day.
Yeah.
Including email responses and messaging, podcast guest outreach responses, and communication with editing teams on a daily basis. There's just like a lot that goes on.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on to it that people don't realize. Like,
right. And then how many clients do you have right now?
I have about 30 clients.
Yeah, that's a fucking good amount.
Yeah, and I'm happy with where that's at, just because I know that where I'm at right now with bodybuilding, I want to try to minimize as much stress as possible. And with bodybuilding, people have to realize a lot of things have to be put on the back burner if you're trying to be best in the world or win the best in the world, that 1%. So things you got to consider, like starting a family, being a CEO of a company, taking on a shit ton of clients. These things have trade-offs. And, that might be, the trade-off might be bodybuilding. So I've learned that if I truly want to be the best and truly want to be that 1%, I have to form an environment around bodybuilding.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. 100%.
So that's where my mindset has shifted this year, in realizing that, coming off of just like a 2-year off season, hitting a stage in Atlanta, just kind of drove that hunger even more, placing second. But
that's fucking huge, by the way. Congrats on that. Second in Atlanta.
I appreciate it,
dude. 1 placement from Olympia. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It kind of is like reminiscent of Chicago Pro in 20.
Because you got second at that too, right?
Yeah,
second at the Chicago Pro.
The pro debut. Yeah.
Damn, bro, that's insane.
Show. Yeah, man. Give me my flowers, y'all. Give me my flowers. But yeah, we got the show in Sarasota, Florida, in about three and a half weeks. So we're looking to get that Olympic qualification there. Just got to be tighter. That was the coach's words in Atlanta. So we're going to take it and run with it.
When you first got second place at your pro debut, did they still have, was there scoring, or was there Olympia qualification points?
Yeah, so they're still doing the point system then. I think they started the point system, I believe this year or last year, I believe. They started the new system where you have to win a show.
You have to win the show
to qualify. There's no longer a point system, which I think is a lot better, in my opinion. It just makes it more competitive. It forces these, the top guys to come out and play. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And people aren't just like racking up points and then showing up at the Olympia.
Right.
Nothing against them, but if you're just racking up points, do you deserve to be at Olympia? Mm-hmm. If you can't win a show, like, do you deserve to be at Olympia? Mm-hmm. One of the most prestigious shows of the year.
Right.
I think it devalues the Olympia in a way if there's a point system. That's just my opinion. I know some people think that they should bring it back. Some people think that, I don't know, it's a money thing, whatever the case may be. But man, I'm competitive.
What do you think? How is it a money thing, or how could it be a money thing?
So I guess in terms of business, you know what I mean? I think that if you have more people competing at the Olympia, obviously the business makes more money in a sense. Does that make sense? Yeah, more money, more exposure. And I'm talking about also on the business side of the IFBB, but I'm not sure how much that margin changes having the point system in or not for the IFBB. Mm-hmm. But I just think it makes the sport as a whole more prestigious, and adds value to the Olympia. It does. You know what I mean? It does. From a branding standpoint. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what they were looking at as well, from a branding standpoint. Real quick, guys. So while I was looking at the YouTube analytics, I actually saw that 85% of you guys that watch this channel are not subscribed. And I want to ask very little of you guys, but if you enjoy this podcast, if you find value in it, then please do me this one favor and subscribe to the channel, because doing so helps me get bigger and greater guests like the guests you are listening to today. Also, this channel is not sponsored, which means only the companies that I work with, which are Young LA and Huge Supplements, are the companies that can help
fund this channel by you guys using the code NILE. So code NILE gives you a discount of 15% off of Young LA, and code NILE also gives you a discount of 10% off of Huge Supplements. And if you decide to purchase anything from any of these companies, it will help immensely for me by using my code. And this way, I can travel to other guests, such as Dr. Mike Israetel next week, and also upgrade in equipment to make this podcast bigger and better for you guys. I can always decide on bringing more value to something rather than just trying to get as many customers as possible.
Right.
Even though I fucking hate it, because then it just means it's harder for me to get to Olympia. But
yeah, so you're doing classic too, right?
I am. I haven't done a classic pro show yet. I'm deciding to. I haven't really talked about this, but I want to get my hands wet in men's physique, in pro men's physique first, because that's where I got my pro card, and that's originally where I started my entire journey. It was men's physique before classic came out. Whereas, classic was something that I've always admired to the greatest degree. I've always wanted to get a physique like 70s, the 80s, any of these amazing, insane proportions, but I never really thought that would be something I could acquire, especially because back in the day when I was starting bodybuilding, I didn't have an interest in doing steroids. I didn't really have an interest in PDs. I also had a fear of needles at the time, just being open about it. Yeah. Obviously that's changed. So
yeah, I remember my first time. I had an older dude, he's like in his 50s. I went to his house. He's like, man, just stand still. And he took a needle. He just like stabbed my shoulder. I looked away. I was like, is it in yet? He was like, yeah, it's in. I was like, okay, I could do this.
Nice.
So that's how it went for me.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, pretty weird setting, but like these older couple that went to the gym at UFit.
Damn.
Cool people though.
That's fucking dope. That's fucking sick. Nothing like the homie getting you started. I think the first injection I ever took was basically I wrecked myself with orals getting my pro card. I didn't know what I was doing. My coach just gave me this plan. I was like, I don't want to take steroids, and he was like, well, you should try to take these.
Who was that coach?
I can't say it.
Play it.
I can't say it. Oh, man.
Throw him under the
bus. But I mean, in his defense, he was just trying to work with me.
Yeah.
If I told him I'm okay with steroids, and he probably would have given me some fucking proper shit, including a test base. Because it's my fault that I told him.
You're still scared of needles, right?
Yeah, I was scared of needles. I also just didn't want to take steroids in general, including oral steroids.
Okay.
But then, obviously, as I kept losing and getting like 16th plus place at nationals, you know how they fucking place 16th and they don't even place 17th place? Yeah, I kept getting that at nationals, and it just started breaking me down. So when he finally offered some pills that he said were in gear, it were aromatase inhibitors to like get myself drier. Obviously, looking back on it, pretty ridiculous that I'm taking an aromatase inhibitor as a natural. But it did actually kind of help me get a little drier. And then I was like, okay, that's step one. I got a little bit closer to getting my pro card. Let's do it again. Maybe we'll add something else that he says. Step 2, and then finally step 3. And then the last show where I got my pro card, it was halo testing and menstrual. I knew that it was gear at that point. I've said this story before, and it sounds fucking stupid, but basically one of the pills was halo testing before this next show. And I told my friend what I was on because he was asking me. He's like, what are you taking then? And I told him, I'm taking a Arimidex, Novadex, and Halotestin. And he's like, bro, you understand that Halotestin's like one of the hardest steroids, right? And I didn't even know what to say at that point. I was honestly in disbelief. But in the back of my head, I was just like, you know what? I knew this was going to happen.
My boy was scared of needles, and he went for the hardest drug.
That shit got me crispy though, bro.
I believe it, bro.
That shit got me crispy.
I can't even, don't even quote me. I think it's like 10 times the magnitude of like testosterone. And it's extremely toxic. I typically have my athletes run it. If I do implement it, most of the time I don't have to because I'm really big on conditioning. And if you're truly peeled, you can get that dry, hard look. But if I do implement it, you're probably going to take it the last week. Maybe last 4 days. If that, maybe 3 days. And then we'll dose it at 10 milligrams, then 20, 30, titrate it up if needed based on visual assessments, you know, because it is pretty toxic.
I can totally agree with that. Bro, and 4 days is all you need, man. You add that shit on those 4 days as you're drying out, and god damn, bro, do you look nasty.
Like a fucking
it's crazy how much the 4 days of halo will make a small enhancement.
Yeah, but auras are really like fast acting, which is another reason why they're pretty toxic, right? That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy to hear. I'm glad you're still here and alive and healthy.
Yeah, I'm glad I am too.
Every 12 months, right? Or every 12 weeks.
Well, I do have a story after that. I went to the doctors for a while because I was all fucked up. I was all kinds of fucked up, including my testosterone level, of course. And then found out they wanted me to get a liver biopsy, and they thought I had hemochromatosis because my liver enzymes were like in the 200 and 300s. It was pretty bad. So did a bunch of shit, took a lot of Tudka, took glutathione, SAMe, a bunch of other things, stayed off of anything that would affect my liver.
Load your protein.
I already wasn't drinking for like several years at that point, but you know, I just did everything I could possible. And then like a year later, I think my liver enzymes were back in like maybe the 50s, 40s. And they were like, yeah, no, you're good. You don't have hemochromatosis and you're fine. But basically, long story short, my first injection ever was my buddy came up to me and he had HCG, and I was trying to bring my test back, and I was scared of doing HCG. He's like, bro, you literally just stab it into your stomach. Don't worry about it. It's in your fat. You don't even put it in your muscle. And I was like, fucking like, fuck, dude, fuck. I don't know if I can do this, man. Like, I don't know why. I just had like this fear, the same kind of fear that like some people just genetically have when they see heights. Like when you're like really high up for some reason, like you just feel weak.
When you're like in a close space.
Yeah, you just feel
claustrophobic.
You know, claustrophobic. You just feel fucking weird for some reason. So I was just feeling weird about it, and then I fucking stabbed it in. I didn't feel a fucking thing. I didn't feel a single thing, and I was just like, I don't understand these fears, but they're fucking dumb. They're definitely like man-made. These fears are man-made, bro. Like, my life has been so much better when I've learned to just like accept everything. And just like expect nothing. So like when I came in here, I didn't expect shit from you, or you know, like it just makes it so much easier, you know. And I'm just accepting everything, like the fact that you just took like an hour shit before the podcast. Like I was like. All right.
I'm just bullshitting. But yeah, man, that's kind of like my mindset and perspective on life, bro. And I think everybody should just understand that, like, your world, you're creating that. Like, you're creating everything around you. So, and that includes like the fear of whatever it is. You know what I mean? And once you have that, bro, because it's going to take time. It doesn't happen overnight. Like, it takes time to kind of build that skill, I guess, you know. And once you do, bro, like everything becomes the anxiety gone, depression,
I agree,
gone. Because when you have no expectations, there are no problems. Because problem stems from expectations. You see what I'm saying? So
expectations are suffering.
Bro.
One of my favorite quotes is like attached to nothing, connected to everything. And I like to talk about these stories just because I think it relates to some people, because we all have fears to a certain extent. But in the end, I wouldn't be where I am now had I not just taken a step in a place where I did fear. And every time I take a step in it, it becomes a little bit less scary and a little bit less painful. Until at some point it becomes a habit and just integrated into part of your life where it's might be one of the easiest things.
I think a lot of it's just lack of preparation too. Right? Like if you're scared to or have fear of, I guess, stepping on stage, you've never done it. If you're prepared for it and you even just having a group of friends come to the gym, and all y'all go to the posing room, and you literally get in your trunks and pose like you would on stage. You do that 50 times, 100 times, or spend 10,000 hours doing that, because the 10,000 hour rule. I don't know if you know about that. You're gonna get on stage and kill it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with like speaking in front of people. I still haven't built that skill because I've just never been in that situation that I have to. But I know for a fact I can do it. I just gotta stand in front of the mirror and repeat what I say, or stand in front of people and repeat what I say. You know what I mean? And eventually you'll be comfortable in those environments.
Let's see what we're saying.
Yeah, we're just talking about perspective and stuff like that on life.
Anyways,
keep it moving.
Well, I forgot anyways. Guys, Jarek Crew is here, and he is a classic IFBB pro known for his elite posing amongst the likes of Terence, Ruffin, and other great posers, and coach at Camp Jansen, Matt Jansen's competition prep coaching.
Let's go. From the ground up, baby.
Yeah. What got you started with Matt with Camp Jansen? So
Cameron actually introduced me or proposed the opportunity. I knew Cameron since I started competing as a pro. I was his first pro athlete. We kind of built our relationship off of bodybuilding, and now that's like my best friend, the homie, the brother. I was his best man at his wedding recently, and so it was just one of those things where he's seen how much time I put into it as well, seen the level of product that I put on stage. Because they're big on that over there in Camp Jansen. Like, we have a standard that's set, and we try to represent that every show. So he's just not hiring any coach. You know what I mean? And so he would like pitch it to him, show him my athletes every time I put an athlete on stage, stuff like that. Just kind of put it in his ear, and then I was never like big on pushing him to go ask him to sign me. It was never like something that I really wanted to do or was like pressed about. But once he got on board with Camp Jansen, I think after like a couple of years, he was pretty much in the door, and he kind of was at a place where his client load was just hard to manage. And the other two coaches as well, Dom and Jacoby, and they were all like had a meeting with Matt, and they were saying that they need to like lower their client load, they need to bring on assistant coaches, and so that was just the opportunity there, and I took it. So we're here now, so it's been cool, man. It's been cool. It's like putting yourself in an environment, like we were talking about, putting yourself in an environment that forces you to excel, forces you to grow.
Right.
Being around these knowledgeable coaches, and we have a WhatsApp group chat. We talk all the time, talk every day, really. It just forces you to grow, So I'm kind of happy that the opportunity presented itself, and being a part of that team really is kind of what I stand for as well too. Just a high standard of athletes, of coaching actually. Which results in high standard athletes, right? So, yeah.
I know you're extremely knowledgeable in the field, but has there been anything that has come as a shock to you as information or new information that you've learned working with Camp Jansen?
A shock as in like knowledge that I never knew about prior to coming on board? Or say
like a different angle at looking at something, or say even like I think one of the easiest examples like I usually think of is like a different way to peak somebody, since there's so many different ways.
Honestly, like what really has shocked me in a way is the way Matt peaks and how simple it is. When you're looking on the outside in, you think it's like he's doing something crazy, but he keeps it super simple. And I think it works really well for the athlete as well during peak week. Keep things as simple as possible, because then you're able to really understand what's on the table and what variable does what. What does this variable respond to? And you're able to find that variable and find what works and what doesn't work a lot easier because it's laid out so simple. That's what's shocking to me, because you would think high level coaches like that, they're just on another level when it comes to like water manipulation, sodium manipulation, carb manipulation, there's a whole drying out process, but it's actually super simple. That was shocking to me.
From my knowledge, from what I've seen from Matt and his way of peaking, it just seems like he gives enough time to be able to readjust things.
Yeah.
So he does things maybe like a day earlier than normally people would expect. Yeah. And this seems to be something a little bit similar to what my coach Kyle Wilkes has done with me and seems to do, where they will, for example, do a mock, and then also during the actual peak week, like Matt said, I think on one of his videos, which is the exact same thing that Kyle also does. He actually feeds them a little bit more, say like 60 to 80% of like their high carb or something like that on Wednesday. Wednesday. Which means they can slowly see how you fill out. And then depending on how much you fill out, gives them an idea of what to approximate for how much more to fill you out on Thursday, which is cool because it's not like, I'm just going to give you this peak week plan and hopefully we don't spill. He's just doing it slowly and slowly by one, to make sure that he's adapting to you.
And that's similar. It's kind of like a similar setup there, and how I do things as well. But a lot of it starts 7 days out for me. And I'm sure like Matt and Cameron and the whole team are similar in that way, where we kind of start to minimize stress slowly, right? And and a lot of that, we're able to see through scale weight, and seeing how that fluctuates from AM to PM, and upon wake up. So a lot of it really starts 7 days out, which then leads into that first kind of fill out process, 3 days out.
I don't know how much this helped, but I added a little bit of glutathione injections. Obviously, I tried not to.
I've seen that.
I tried not to. A lot of people will drop injections like a week out, and then some other injections maybe say like Tuesday before the show. And I tried not to do any injections after Tuesday, but I did add some glutathione to try to help my inflammation to go down for the show. And I feel like it helped a lot, to be honest. I don't know if there's a lot of bodybuilders or top level bodybuilders that will implement glutathione in the beginning of peak week, but including the dehydration, including dropping the test, including the less workload, lessening fatigue, and hopefully also lessening cortisol levels and potentially aldosterone. And then the inflammation overall. I dropped from like 182, 181-ish to like 177 within peak week. So that was like, I dropped like 4 pounds maybe.
That was before the
And 181 was like my lowest weight. Throughout all of prep. So then I suddenly just dropped 4 more pounds. And then filled out. And then I think after filling out my morning weight, my heaviest morning weight was either 179 or 180. So it was cool to see. That's solid. It's like, I was like kind of surprised at how much I could drop.
That's kind of like one thing about me, and why a lot of coaches are pretty much like limited on just learning or just growing as a coach in general. And I think that's why Camp Jansen is such a great team, is because we're always open to different ways and approaches and processes as well, that can further the sport of bodybuilding, right? In terms of putting quality athletes on stage. And, I've never tried the glutathione shots. I've only use NAC, which is like the precursor, right? I think just from an aspect of pinning, you'd want to minimize as much pinning as possible because of inflammation. But I'm not sure if that outweighs the actual internal aspect, like the benefits that you're getting from it, right? Like if you have a little bit of inflammation from the injection site, but you're fucking dropping a shit ton of inflammation internally, I think it's a win, So that may be something I consider, you know what I'm saying, and try out. You won't know until you actually try it, right?
For me, obviously, too, it was also a lot easier and a lot more convenient and just seemed a lot more fitting because I was wearing men's physique board shorts for this show. So didn't really have to have any issues to show my top glute, right?
It makes sense. Yeah.
But
yeah,
you know, say that I do a classic show, then probably a different story.
Different story for sure. Especially if it's someone that really is like reactive to like pinning. You know, there's some people who you just don't get any information.
Right.
And it could be just the oils or the mix, the alcohol mixed with it, whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's a good point to make for sure.
My top glute striations definitely look more defined a week of not pitting.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I always try to minimize pinning on peak week, 100%. You know, plus just the overall stress of just it hitting your system too. You know, so because the whole point of peak week, man, is to just lower fatigue, inflammation as much as possible, leading into that first loading. Because the picture is clear. You're just trying to create a clear picture to where you can just ease into it as a coach, and everything's predictable from to the eye, right? So
honestly, I loved this peak week. I feel like this was the easiest peak week I've ever had. Because I had.
Is this your first time working with Kyle?
This is my first time working with Kyle.
Dope. He's the worker with like all the influencers, bro. Yeah. What is it about y'all? Just like fuck. Y'all just huddle up at a bar and just like. All right, Kyle, we got it. So and so next up. He has like 1.5 million followers. We got to get this dub.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna press this video.
Like for real.
No, for real, dude. I know everyone. I fucking know. All
like
people,
what?
Dude, I even posted a YouTube video working out with him. Literally, like the top comment, aside from Grant Romer looking like a fucking tank, was literally Kyle just fucking works with all the influencers, dude. Bro, what is he doing?
It's like a cult, bro. It's like an YouTube influencer.
Well, to be real with you, so I'm gonna just be transparent about this.
Yeah.
I was working with Neil Yodahill before this, and he was great, very understanding, and he's like a very stoic, like peaceful man, family man, and I really liked working with him, but he was just too busy for me.
Yeah,
like I don't have any pro experience, right. And he just clearly didn't have enough time, I think, for people that aren't his. Like Mr. Olympia, like Brandon Hendrickson, who isn't actually Mr. Olympia or like his top competitors. So it just wasn't for me because.
So he was leaving on red.
There was I don't want to put him on blast.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna get there.
Yeah, but after that, there was a couple other coaches that I was talking to that I really liked. And I'll just say it. The two coaches was Chris Aceto and then Patric Tuor.
Hell yeah.
I love how Patric Tuor just blows up his fucking dudes, bro. He blows them up, man.
He's low. People don't understand. Like, I've been peeping game. Like, he's low key, so precise with peaking. Like, his guys come like peak so perfect, like full blown.
Yeah.
But still keep the lines is crazy, right. And he doesn't miss, bro.
I'm sure. Good,
last few shows,
a lot of it is
that I've seen. He hasn't missed, like, and he's very. I know he's probably someone who's very like selective of who he works with. He's probably one of those coaches where he doesn't have to coach to live a comfortable life, which makes you a dangerous coach. When you don't have to coach, like Chris Aceto, similar to Chris Aceto, he doesn't have to coach.
Right, they do it because they love it.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for so long.
That's what makes them so dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're like pouring your whole heart into like trying to make sure that you keep this like brand identity to make sure the bills are paid and stuff like that, then it becomes a different animal.
It does.
Right. But and same thing with Jansen. He doesn't need to coach. I mean, get one of the biggest brands, probably one of the biggest brands in the fitness industry. But anyways, yeah, I think he's low key been on the road, man. People need to give him his flowers for sure.
Because the two guys. I mean, obviously, a lot of it is for sure genetics as well. Like Stefan, what's his full name? NFC.
Stefan NFC.
Yeah,
I don't know his full name. I know it's not Stefan NFC.
I don't even understand that guy's level of dryness and fullness, and this was fucking insanity, man.
And I don't think he was 100% at that last show, and still was able to qualify.
That's crazy, dude.
He's gonna be nasty at Olympia, I bet.
Right, and then the 21-year-old too. Have you seen him?
Placed second in Dubai Pro.
Bro, crazy.
Dubai Pro, one of the biggest 212 shows.
He looks like he gained 30 pounds in his off season. In 1 year, it looks like he gained 20, 30 pounds.
I guarantee you probably gain another 20 or 30 come next year.
Oh, fuck, dude.
I'll say I'm overshooting it. Maybe 15, just because.
Right.
I think he took 2 years off, right? Was it 2 years or 1 year?
Oh, was it 2 years?
I
don't know.
I don't know, but either
that would
way,
make a lot more sense because that transformation is fucking nuts.
But still, who's making those gains, like real tissue gains, like after 2 years, like right now, like
do you say rotisserie gains?
No,
they look like rotisserie gains.
They do. We got to coin that. But yeah, bro, it's insane, bro. That's insane. You know, like 21 to have that level of maturity. He's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, he's gonna destroy it for sure.
He's gonna be a problem.
I freaking love that pose he does where he puts his hands on his hips and then he still gets his waist all tight.
What's his name? Like
proportions still.
The cat.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nikit something. I don't know.
That's fucking wild.
Kill.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was talking with those two and I was really interested in working with him, and I was about to, but I know Kyle personally, and a lot of these creators that start working with Kyle, it's because just like if you move to LA, so a lot of people will move to LA to gain success, and another reason is a lot of them do it to gain connections.
Right.
Now, I don't like the idea of being, no one in LA, even though a lot of people do it, obviously like the idea of people wanting to be their friends simply for the sake of what they have,
right,
or for connections. But you cannot discount the fact that just being in a space where there are a lot of successful people and creators helps you become better, and thus also helps you meet other people in the field, even if you don't know them. Other successful people in the field that are doing what you are doing, where you will not find anywhere else.
For sure.
So when I was in San Diego, I was kind of the only creator doing bodybuilding things there. There was like, the only person I knew was Clark Fit at the time, who was this fitness creator with Gymshark.
Okay.
And he was nice, and he was one of my buddies, and he actually helped me. I owe a lot to him because he helped me and taught me how to do workout swipes, and he's like, this is how you can grow it. It blew me up, so you can do this. And then it literally blew me up. So I have a lot to thank for him. But like, I could tell you, like, if I say Clark Fit on this podcast, there's not very many people that know of him.
Yeah.
But you go to LA and there's so many people that you will meet, even if you don't know, that are doing what you are doing, that are successful. And you want to surround yourself with people who are doing better than you if you want to excel yourself. Yeah. So being here in LA, I did not have an intention of like meeting Kyle or anything, but I'm part of the Young LA team. So when we had the Young LA events, where, for example, we had the it was the meet and greet, the Young LA meet and greet, and then we also had like a Young LA get together and party after at Gary's house, the owner's house, all these things. Like, I met Kyle at the meet and greet, and also at like a photo shoot for like Black Friday, and we honestly just talked. We were just having a conversation. Same thing with Jay Cutler. I was just having a conversation with him about bodybuilding in general, and then nothing else came of it. Didn't talk to them for like another year or whatever.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the conversation because we connected.
Yeah.
But because of that, I guess I already felt comfortable because I knew him, and then a lot of the people that I know or friends that I know had worked with him and were friends with him, and because they all told me really positive things about Kyle and that I know him personally, I felt the most comfortable speaking with him. So exactly. I was just very interested. I was like, you know what, like, I really want to see what these two other coaches have in store, and that's still something on my mind, just so I have, like, I like to ingest information and experience. Like, that's just something I want to do before I die, right? I want to like work with different coaches and get to understand how people do different things, and then see how that works with my body. I just want to learn more. That's why I have a podcast. I just want to talk about it. But working with Kyle has been really, really cool because I think it's been the easiest, most comfortable, and the easiest way, the best connection I've had with a coach. And he picked me the best I've ever been. Yeah. So I didn't talk about my show, and I'm not going to talk about these shows yet, because I'm really just doing these pro shows for experience right now, because I know I'm not ready, because I'm severely under the weight cap for both divisions.
For sure.
But the judges said I came in absolutely peeled, and they also said that I had definitely enough muscle mass compared to even the taller guys. And the head judge is always very nice to me. I've known him like from a different show a year ago, but he said that I had amongst the best back in my lineup, which was also really nice.
Your back is sick for sure.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Sick. My back's a little weird. My most of my mass is in my lower lats, so it's like weird because it's like my upper back does not look as concentrated as everyone else on stage, is what I've noticed. And one of my issues is I didn't practice posing enough or get a posing coach before this, so they told me that they counted off a fuck ton of symmetry points and took me out of first call outs because I fucked up my both poses, both front and back pose.
Okay.
In my back pose, I rolled my shoulders forward like Ryan Terry's old, like a lat spread, like Ryan Terry's old posing, which unfortunately does exactly what I don't want to do for my back, which is make my upper back look even more flat, even more washed out.
For sure.
And then I did the same thing with my chest. I flexed my chest and striated it, and you're not supposed to do that in men's physique.
They lose fullness.
Yeah. So
and you just lose that shape.
It's just crazy how many points they counted off for me though for the posing, like moving from first call outs to basically shit. But
yeah, it's crazy.
It makes sense though.
It does because they're basically judging based off what they see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So
even if they know that you have a different physique walking into stage, they base you off the posing when you're lined up with everybody else. Exactly. So I literally stood there and just watched as they kept switching me out to the outer end of the call outs, and then they moved me to second call outs, and I was like, fuck. Man.
Isn't that like the worst feeling ever?
Yeah, it's the worst.
I mean, I can't relate, but I just know.
Yeah, it must be nice, bro.
No, I just know in
second
the Arnold Classic, I placed last. But it was 10 guys, right?
Yeah.
I guess I can't say that because it was just a crazy experience. Like, if you were last at the Arnold Classic in 2020 or 2020,
Arnold Classic is fucking insane.
It doesn't even matter. Like, it was just it was a crazy experience. But, it's just like, because you know what you can give and you know how much work you put in and day out. And to see that happen or being that or experience that is fucking, it like eats your heart out.
Yeah.
And then like being one of the guys to sit and watch the first call outs. Because I did do that in Arnold Classic. If it either can fire you up or it can eat you alive.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to choose one, But when I was up there at Arnold Classic, watching those guys the first call out, I was like, I'm going to be back one day.
Yeah.
I'm going to be holding that trophy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just for anybody's out there who have experienced that, just keep fucking going. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. That's also a reason why I didn't want to take like a 2-year off season before I just step on the pro stage. I wanted to have some experience competing first. Bro. Like I know, like obviously my ego wants to be like those few guys where they step on stage and people announce, oh, this guy got top 5 at 7 of his 9 pro shows or something. Like there's guys like that where like this guy got like second or first at his very first pro show. Like obviously that's what I want, but I know that I don't think I have the special genetics to be able to do that. Mine has always required more hard work, diligence, and time and consistency to get to that point. Yeah. I did 9 shows before I ever got my pro card, and I was getting 16 plus place at 3 different nationals. So,
but you got your pro card,
and then I got my pro card.
You see what I'm saying?
And so I don't expect to be doing the best the first time around, but I do expect to learn. And I can tell you I learned so much from this experience. Yeah, so much. And I did plead them to please tell me like what conditioning, what muscle group do I need to work on? Like, but they just wouldn't really give it to me. They just kept telling me that I still believe that my abs are not nearly as good as the other men's physique guys on stage. And I still believe that I can build my lats a little wider.
We all can.
We always can, right? Yeah. Classic men's physique, you always can make your lats wider. But I mean, they just, every time I ask, like, there's got to be something. There's got to be something about my physique that could be better. And they're like, no, man, you just really, really fucked up your symmetry with your posing. Like, we had you in first call outs. And you saw as you were moved outwards, it was really just, you got to fix your posing up.
Posing is important, people.
You know this best for sure.
Yes, I try to preach this to everybody I come across, especially my athletes. Like posing, it's non-negotiable when you're working with me. Like that's part of like, just like, hey, you got to eat meal 5. This is what you eat in meal 5. Hey, you got to go find a posing coach. Report back to me when you do that. I will even sometimes I will tell them, hey, don't check in until you report to me that you're working with a posing coach. Like it's that serious because, like I said, I hold myself to a high standard, and I have a standard that I hold my team to in hopes that the athletes match that or above. And the same thing goes with Camp Jansen, right? And so I'm not going to allow an athlete to tamper with not only my brand, but also the foundations and morals and standards that I have set for the company or for the team. Does that make sense? Because it's like a virus. You can call it strict, you can call it like however you want to call it, but it's really just a lack of preparation that is happening on the athlete's end. Essentially, they just don't want to do it.
Yeah,
because it's not expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you can buy a whole stack, right, that'll last you through prep, you can buy a session or 2 of posing.
Speaking of which, I'm getting a session from you, by the way, sometime really soon. So ASAP.
Yeah, it'll probably be after the season, my season though.
Fuck.
I've been loaded.
God damn it.
You got a show coming up?
You said you're 3.5 weeks out, right?
Yeah. But I possibly might be doing Olympia too.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. So that's in October.
Fuck. Yeah. I do take accountability for this. Like, I think there's so many more places I can improve, including my physique and building my physique, but posing for sure.
Yeah.
I take full accountability for my placement at this show because I asked Kyle for posing coaches that he would recommend for me to get before my show. And he sent them over to me, and I just fucking never contacted them.
Yeah.
I never ever got the posing.
Because that's one thing you can't control, right? There's a lot of things you just can't control within prep. But posing is definitely one of them that you can control.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be able to really maximize the variables that you can control in prep, right? To just maximize your outcome and the package that you're bringing to the stage. You know, like if you think about it, like you're investing 20 weeks, 18 weeks, 16 week prep of your life. Like, why wouldn't you not want to make sure that all aspects are covered, knowing that you gave your absolute best and nothing left on the table? Your life of 16 weeks has to be worth it. You know what I'm saying? What you're telling me, it's not. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Because you're leaving stuff on the table. But you learn every time. Like, you don't, like, for my first timers, I don't expect like everything to be 100%. I just don't. It goes back to like, don't expect anything. Like, I'm just not going to, you know? But as time goes on, they learn, they grow. I continue to feed them, you know, knowledge and expectations, you know, and eventually it clicks, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't beat yourself up. I mean, you just hold yourself accountable, like you said. Just do better next time. You know what I mean? I think you have a crazy physique, bro. I'm not even bullshitting. Like, I'm not even sitting here because I'm on your podcast. You know what I mean? And I'm sure the other million followers probably agree. That's why they follow you.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it, man.
You do your thing, bro.
Just an Instagram bodybuilder. I just know all my own angles.
Well, you got your pro card though.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of them don't.
Took some time. What do you think is well, I want to ask some questions about posing for sure, but
yeah.
Before I forget, what is like the most pros that you've seen compete in a class, or say like maybe one of the shows that you've competed in, like the most amount of competitors in your class at a pro show?
That I've competed in, or just in general, like
both.
Damn, that's a tough one because I'm not really good with memory, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But that I've competed as a pro, the most I think was definitely not the Arnold Classic. I think it might have been the Chicago Pro. Was the most athletes in the lineup. Yeah, 'cause I did Texas was my second show, Arnold Classic, and then we just did Atlanta. Yeah, I think definitely was Chicago. out of my shows that I competed at. And then as far as like just in general, this year actually it's been crazy with classic lineups. I think that
the Texas Pro look fucking nuts, dude.
Texas Pro,
those two guys, the top two guys look fucking insane. The winner's back literally looked like C-Bum's back.
Yeah, bro.
The structure, the shape.
It's gonna be a crazy class of physique show this year. Oh my god! I'm telling you, I think Chris knows it too. Yeah, I'm sure he's watching. But there's a lot of
because those damn Brazilians, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Both those guys were Brazilians, right? Bro, the top two of the Texas Pro this year. Insane. The Brazilian won my class too. The Brazilian got first place in my show too. What the fuck? We 20 pros from guys all around the world. Had a guy from Thailand who got fourth. Had a guy from Korea that I thought he was gonna fucking get stacked, but he got placed next to me somewhere next to me.
But isn't that cool though, bro? Like competing with like people across the world, bro. That's what
it was cool as hell.
It's insane, cool. Bro.
Met some really dope guys, and then I competed against one of the guys that I actually looked up to like 7-8 years ago. Was on stage with him, Gerard Jake. I believe he's this Asian men's physique pro, and I've always thought he had like fucking the savagest arms, the tiniest cut up waist.
I know you're talking about.
You might. Yeah. It was just cool to like be able to stand up there next to him and just be like, I can't believe I'm here.
What show you did?
Pacific USA Pro.
Okay. Yeah,
it was fun.
Hell yeah, man! It's crazy, man. Like just being able to connect with people around the world. This sport is so dope. Like I'm a fan before like being a coach or athlete. Like
right.
I promise you, bro. Like I'm on YouTube watching like all the reporting channels, every meal, like meal 1 through 5. breakfast I usually start with Nick Strength and Power. You know,
Nick Strength and Power.
Yeah, just to kind of like heat things up because you know his is like a lot shorter, like 60 minutes. Everybody else now is doing like an hour, 2 hours. I'm like, God.
Yeah, mine's long. My comments are always like, oh, now I have. My comments are always like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to listen to it on my commute to work or on the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
The cardio.
Actually, like, I was like, on the way here, I was like, oh, an hour and 30-minute drive? Let's go, YouTube.
Yeah. By the way, all you homies that say those comments, I fucking love you guys so much. Those make my day.
But yeah, so yeah, Texas Pro was pretty stacked, bro. And, Classic is taking over, bro. I'm sorry, men's physique guys.
I love it though.
Classic is getting super popular.
You know, Classic is my passion. I'm shooting for that.
And we just got a lot of personality too.
Right.
We look good.
It's beautiful, man. The posing is fucking beautiful. Posing is my favorite.
Entertaining.
I was literally watching like a posing routine from yours and Terence Ruffin like late last night or something.
Really?
It was like
fucking dope.
12:30 in the morning, and I was just in bed watching half naked dudes posing. Oh shit!
All right, if that's the case, now you gotta give me some tips on how to grow my followers.
Okay.
The trade off.
All right. But how much? If you feel comfortable saying it, how much weight under the weight cap are you?
Right now,
maybe now, or I guess in general.
So my cap is 227. It should be locked in after like 3 weigh-ins. I did 1 weigh-in so far. So
how tall?
A little over 5'11".
Okay.
So 227 on weight cap. Right now I'm 222.
222.
I'll probably be like 219, not 219. Probably like 220, 221 tomorrow.
Okay.
Just because how I'm feeling.
You know. I know. You know it. In 3.5 weeks out too, right?
Yeah. I'm like, I can't wait to get my last meal. But but yeah, so I'm 222 right now, so I'm 5 under right now. Mm-hmm. I plan to be around just an estimation of maybe 215, 216.
Like after the dehydration and everything, or what?
Before the dehydration, probably like 218.
218, gotcha.
Yeah, it's because the thing is, man, I was already 220, 219 before I went to Jamaica in July. Mm-hmm. We took a diet break and drove my weight up a good bit, just to hold, not just fucking dig myself into the ground, right? Because we knew the gap between the two shows was pretty long.
How long was the gap?
Over an hour drive. We've been driving it down. The gap was 7 weeks.
Yeah,
7
that's
weeks
long.
So I wasn't gonna drive my shit all the way down to 216 that quick. So the thing is, I know I can hit 216 because I was already 219.
Right.
And at the end of July 27th.
Do you mind me asking? Because this is where I am at right now with my coach, but unfortunately he is on vacation at the moment.
Yeah.
So I've had to be waiting, and I've kind of been setting myself at this weird purgatory place. But would you be open to sharing like what your BD regimen looked like weaning yourself there for like the first, like right after you got off show for a couple weeks?
So we went back to baseline prior to peak week in terms of the drug protocol, and just drop the orals out.
Gotcha.
That's the first thing you want to do, just drop the orals out.
Okay.
100%. Because they're fast acting. They, you can bring back in.
Including like Winstrol?
Yeah, so we pull. So currently, as far as orals, I'm taking Winstrol, Proviron. Can I put my phone out?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want to miss anything. I'll make sure you guys get all the tea. All right.
Let's go.
Let's get it, man.
Transparent.
Yeah,
I'm on Winstrol, and I was doing Winstrol and Proviron as well.
All right, so currently I'm taking Winstrol, Proviron, and then I took Halo the last like 2 weeks, and that's it as far as orals. And then obviously the AIs. So 10 milligrams of Nova. I've been running that every day, AM and PM, and then 0.5 milligrams every day of 8X, and that's about it for the orals. And right now I'm running 80 milligrams a day of test, 100 milligrams a day of mast, and 25 milligrams a day of Tren. So basically what we did was, obviously we pulled everything out peak week, and then to answer your question, we brought everything back in on baseline. So prior to peak week, I was at, the show was July 13th, I believe. 110 milligrams of test a day, 85 milligrams of mast a day, and 25 milligrams of Tren a day. So pretty much damn near the same. We just brought that back in.
I see.
Pulled the orals.
Okay,
and
cool.
Just held it there.
All right. That's what I was thinking too. Because originally he was going to have me jump back on the orals as well, which was like 3-4 weeks out of show. Well, not the orals,
so you're doing another show?
Just the Winstrol. Yeah, I'm doing a couple more shows.
Let's go.
Because I want to get the experience.
Yeah, and fucking have fun, bro. You already peeled.
I was trying to decide if I wanted to wait to do my classic pro debut until after I get, because I'm like fucking bro, I'm like 15 to 20 pounds under the classic cap. I'm like I weighed in at 185 with my pants on, 2 pounds below the men's physique weight cap, but I was also 177 at my lowest. Yeah. It just fucking sucks that you don't know when check-ins are. Sometimes they're different times, right, per show. Yeah. So it's like if your check-ins end up being later in the day, then it's going to be harder for you to be just as light.
Yeah.
But
unless you like pull food back.
Right, exactly. Which you can, which we totally could do. So, I mean, technically, if we wanted to do that, then I do have at least 5 pounds for men's physique that I could gain. Yeah, maybe even 7 if we really suck down 7, but probably 5 pounds. Yeah. But that means for classic, I have 15 pounds. Yeah, which is a lot.
It is.
So
a lot of muscle.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to do my classic pro debut after I gain the 15 pounds, or if I just want to get some experience in and try a show while I'm still lean, just one classic show, and then do my off season.
Well, who's anybody to judge? Like, no fucking rules.
It's just my ego that's in the way, to be honest. Yeah, it's my ego of not doing well at a show that I'm not going to do the best at.
Yeah. I mean, because we are our biggest judge, really. Yeah. Before anybody else, but fuck it, stop judging yourself.
I would rather get the experience in, honestly.
Especially if it's your classic pro debut. You got to think about it. Like, would you rather get experience now and then grow into it, coming back, or with the experience on stage already, or would you not do it, have no experience, drive up the weight, and then come back with no experience, but at your weight cap? Yeah. You're already lean. Honestly, you just switch your trunks, literally. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. And then a ton more posing.
Yeah.
A ton more practice.
Right. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I say go for it. I say go for it. You know what I mean? You got nothing to lose, bro.
Thanks, bro. That helps a lot, honestly.
Yeah,
the ego just fucking keeps getting in the way, so that helps a lot. And also in terms of like what you were running, just openly, you and I are actually on a very, very similar protocol. Yeah. Extremely similar, almost down to the dosage, honestly.
That's
so,
a good thing.
Yeah. Like I feel like the only difference between us was like maybe a tiny bit of a test, and then I was doing 15 milligrams of tren a day. Okay. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I've been handling it really well. I mean, we just drove we just made adjustments driving the mass up a little bit and pull test down. I think mass really helps handle the trend really well. I've noticed that myself, and even from other athletes. You know, bringing in that mass and allow it to hit peak serum level, and then slowly taper up or taper in. The trend is a lot better than just like throwing trend in first. In my opinion, I just seen that effect. I don't know how on a chemical level, but I've handled trend really well this time around, like super well. But also another key point I want to make is just fucking make sure you take a shitload of magnesium. That also helps with the trend sides. Like I'm talking like 500 milligrams, upwards to 800 milligrams a day of magnesium. It will help heavy. Plus, it will help your digestion. You'll know you're taking too much magnesium when you start having diarrhea. You just pull back a couple hundred or 100. But I take it like damn near like 500 milligrams a day of magnesium.
That'd be really nice for the digestion for sure.
Yeah.
I hate when the orals slow my digestion down.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, I never had any issues with orals in my digestion, really. I just know it definitely is stressing the system, but never like any noticeable like feedback.
I've never had anything serious. I can just tell when my digestion slows down, but also part of it is also the fact that our body is adapting to a lower energy intake.
Yeah,
so that's also part of it.
You know, but also like I've noticed like we've increased my fiber intake. We brought in like 100 grams of greens, like zucchini and asparagus mainly, with every meal, and I've been really good. It's been really good. So that's been a game changer. But yeah,
I've been smashing spinach bags like chips.
Really? Bro, I can't eat them dry.
Yeah.
Fucking choke, bro. I can't do it. I gotta throw a little bit of water on it.
You get a little desperate sometimes, bro. Sometimes, like as fucking, you know, the end of prep starts rolling around, I just get starving and I just need to like.
I don't know if you ever
I just wish I could just snack
there's
on
these
something.
there's these egg wraps. They're like egg white wraps. They're like 1 gram of protein per wrap.
Whoa,
bro! Like if you're craving, I'm not saying you should do this, but it's like 10 in a pack, so like 10 grams of protein. Yeah, you know, like just munch on those every now and then. It tastes really good on prep. Okay, like you can eat them cold or you can heat them up a little bit. You can even put some like 0-calorie sauce on it. Roll them up like a burrito with the 0-calorie sauce in the middle.
Damn,
slap.
That sounds fire. I'm gonna look that up after this.
I'll show you after this.
All right, bet. There's just a company that's called Fitlicious Meal Prep that's been sending me some food. They don't pay me or anything or whatever, but they just send me nice food. And they have these egg white bites. It's like 4 grams of protein per bite. Yeah. And bro, I mean, honestly, it's literally just this round cake with egg white, and then it's got maybe a little bit of spinach and like a little bit of red pepper in there or something. Yeah. It's not much, but for some reason, bro, if I just put some like Himalayan pink salt or something, or like buttery or like garlic salt on it, it just slaps. It slaps, and it's straight protein.
Bro, I love eggs. I don't have eggs in my plan just because the sodium is so high. But I love eggs, bro. I'm an egg guy. I'm also a peanut butter guy. Oh, I'll fuck some shit up.
I try my best to avoid the nut butters because I'll literally eat a whole jar. I try my best. I just keep it to olive oil during prep because I know I'll fuck up the almond butter.
You have to, bro. If I go in your pantry right now, if I see some almond butter,
I have an almond butter thing in my fridge because I had to use it for peak week. I didn't have to use it for peak week. I wanted to use it for peak week.
So we're good to go. Put that on the egg white wrap.
On the egg white wrap.
Slap.
If you feel like any of the medications that we spoke about today may benefit you, such as BPC 157, GH secretagogues such as Tesamorelin, IGF-1, oxandrolone troche, Semaglutide, then you can obtain these from Jansen HRT, and the link for that will be in the bio. If you feel like you're experiencing symptoms of low testosterone, such as depression, anxiety, lack of motivation, as well as lack of sex drive, then you can get this checked out as well by getting your blood work done at Transcend, and they will provide you expert medical analysis. Transcend HRT has worked with many professional bodybuilders and pro athletes, such as Thor Bjornsson, Phil Heath, and Jeremy Buendia. And if you feel like this podcast has any relevancy to you, I do believe that this clinic will provide of great benefit to you as well. Yeah, but I can have whey isolate, but those vegan proteins, the huge supplements, vegan proteins, they do taste gas. And they have like the cinnamon toast crunch has little cinnamon crunch pieces in it. But the cake has little sprinkles. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking the cinnamon one.
The cinnamon one?
Yes.
Damn, that's my favorite one, bro.
Cinnamon for 200, Alex.
I might have to give you another one because that's my favorite one.
Oh, really?
If this is acceptable.
I'll take the birthday cake then.
Supplied. You'll do the birthday cake?
Yeah. Or I'll just see what you got.
What's your favorite all-time favorite flavor?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
Peanut
Okay.
Butter. Peanut butter everything.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. All right, we'll decide.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I'll give you one of them for sure. Maybe the cinnamon. We'll discuss.
I may give you a free posing session.
Shameless plug, by the way. Code Nile. Cough, cough. Yeah, this is the first call outs where I was. If you want to check it out, just out of curiosity. That's me in the farthest.
Oh boy, you look sick.
Me in the
always to the right.
Me, yeah, I'm on the farthest right, and then the winner, the Brazilian guy, number one, is the one that's farthest to the left.
That's the winner of the whole show.
Yeah.
Damn, you guys all were peeled, but you look sick, bro.
Thanks, bro. You're not just.
I see what they're saying. The flex in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was actually one of my better, less flexing of the chests, to be honest, that picture. It was just a random picture one of my buddies took at the crowd or something.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta see the back. You got any back shots?
That's what she said. I would have to search it somewhere in there.
Okay.
But you can tell how like my back looks, like the judge said, my back looks thicker than the rest, but then my upper back is all washed out and stuff,
Yeah.
and my shoulders are shrugged compared to everyone else.
Gotta definitely do it.
Which
sure.
I gotta fucking fix that. So yeah, if you guys are curious, I wonder if this is gonna show on this one. If not, I'll just put on the other camera. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's it. So this guy, that he won the show, and then that's me in the yellow and black shorts, and then yeah, and then this guy Fetty, I think he's a 2-time Olympian. He got fourth place, and then my boy over here. A lot of people in the crowd were kind of surprised that he won because he seemed the least conditioned on stage, but he got second place. But I think, but when I saw his back though, his V taper was the craziest. So
yeah, that's what I would say. If you look at the back, it'd be.
That's the guy who got second.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I'm sure probably his back is
probably
what took it for it. If his midsection looks washed out.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't look as sharp. But yeah, they're going to judge you based off your whole.
Judging is always weird, but there's always a reason, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just like
100%.
I'm always with whatever the judges say. I just improve myself.
Right. I mean, that's all you can control, right?
Yeah, that's all you can do.
You know, just come undeniable.
Exactly.
Like,
can complain all I want, but it's about what we can control, right?
Straight up. Yeah.
Complaining
ain't gonna add no tissue to your back.
Facts. Facts. What was I gonna say? Posing, actually. Speaking of posing, what would be the 3 things that you would recommend the most for someone to maximize their posing skill on stage?
3 things I would recommend someone do to maximize their posing skills on stage. First thing that comes to mind is posing conditioning. So going through rounds and holding for at least 10 seconds minimum per pose. And this is just like the mandatories, right? So that'll be the first thing. Second thing will be have a set of eyes guidance to put you in position, because if you're practicing the wrong things, you're just going to be practicing bad habits. And those habits are going to be hard to break depending on how long you've been doing them. So that'll be 2, and then 3 would just be from there. Would be repetition. Does that make sense? So just repeating the process over and over again. That's what breeds confidence, because the confidence is going to show through on stage. The judges love confidence. I think confidence is a big part of your presentation, and that'll limit like all of the jitters, all the shaking. Then you got the posing conditioning, so you're able to hold it a lot longer. You never know who you're up against, how close their competition is, what head judges in front of you. They might put you through like 5 rounds, but you got that posing conditioning, and then you get the guidance from the second set of eyes, so you know exactly how your arm should be positioned, your limbs should be positioning. Proprioception is important, right? So through repetition, you're going to build that proprioception, which is basically knowing where you are without looking. Right? So those will be the 3 things.
Gotcha. I think this is going to be a little bit hard for me to discuss with you, even though I really want to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try it anyways, but I think it'll be difficult to discuss because we don't really have someone in front of the cameras posing or anything. But I have noticed this in my experiences posing, and I see this happen a lot. And I feel like not everybody should be posing the exact same, but there are a lot of posing coaches that will have, for example, someone roll their shoulders or roll their hands back and then roll their elbows forward the same way. But personally, I feel like that shouldn't be a consistent case for everybody.
No, so you got to consider as a posing coach, and there are good posing coaches out there that are pretty flexible and versatile in that regard, which is why I recommend those posing coaches. But you got to consider like muscle maturity, structure, and how the muscle belly sit, insert, right? And so for me, I don't roll my elbows forward. I do throw my wrist back because you do want to see the bicep peaks.
Yep.
I think that everyone should, to some extent, roll their wrist back to showcase more bicep peak. But not everyone should roll their elbows forward, because ultimately what it can do is you'll lose detail. One, if you don't have a thick back and mature back, and you look pretty washed out. Right. Depending on your peak as well too, can play a role in that. So what I do personally, or just to answer your question, no, I don't think everyone should do the same thing or pose the same way. What I do personally, I drive my elbows down to the floor, and it's almost like just below parallel to the floor, my elbow. So for me, it really pops my lats. I think I know. Yeah. I think I do. I prefer to do the same. I don't, but when I see myself posing on video, I like it when my elbows are just slightly below parallel. Yeah, it's one of those things. It builds a lot of volume under there. And it's one of those things where you just, for me, I'm big on comparisons. Like, let's compare the photos, and that's not gonna lie. You're gonna see right away like what looks the best. So a lot of posing coaching is like trial and error, like with an athlete. When getting in position, in my opinion. And see what works and what doesn't work. And what makes a good posing coach is having a lot in that posing bag that you can utilize for the athlete. Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Cool. And one of my mistakes, I think, was I don't remember who I was posing with, but we were doing some classic practices, and then I did a men's physique pose with them as well. And they had me like roll forward, and then I kind of tried to take that onto my pose and start rolling my back forward more, so it got wider. But I think I carried that over to the stage probably more than I should have, and obviously the judges gave me the opposite feedback, like you're flattening your back, and you had a good back, you had the best, and then you didn't. And then they were like, you noticed it for finals, and then you fixed it. And that's exactly what we wanted. Unfortunately, though, finals was a little too late. Yeah, posing kills, man. Posing can kill. And I was trying to say something, but damn, I lost my train of thought. I don't know, it'll come back. You said something about rolling your shoulders forward, and then it kind of clicked something in my head. But if I remember, I'll mention it. But yeah, I just think that, like posing is not one size fits all, and, it's going to take a lot of, like I said, trial and error. And this is where a lot of repetition comes into play too, and posing conditioning. But as your body matures, you're going to constantly need to make adjustments to your posing as well. I know for a fact, like next season, next year in 2025 when I compete, there's going to be some posing adjustments because I know I'm going to be improved. And I'm going to want to show and highlight those improvements. So just wanted to put that out there.
Do you do a vacuum whenever you do your front double bi in comparisons?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So how long do you practice that when you're practicing for stage? Like, do you hold that vacuum as well for 10 seconds?
Yeah. So not only do I like practice just like the vacuum and holding that during posing, but like when I do my ab routine in the mornings after fasted cardio, I do about like 4 rounds of vacuums. I try to hold it as long as I can. And the minute I run out of breath or lose, capacity, that'll be the set.
Gotcha.
That'll be 1 round. And then I'll just do it again.
And then this is a weak question, but how much of your lungs, what percentage would you say that you blow out before you suck in your vacuum? Because I have tried doing 100% and it seems to take too long, and I seem to not need, say, for example, sometimes the last 10 to 20%. I think I've noticed that I tend to exhaust myself more.
Yeah, you might be exhausting yourself before you even get into the vacuum, like almost like fatiguing yourself. I can't put like a finger on it, but if I had to, just to kind of give you a visual, I like to contract my abs as hard as possible and blow, which takes usually like 2 seconds, and then pull the vacuum. So whatever
2 seconds, okay,
volume I'm using in terms of the lung capacity, I say maybe be like 60 to 80%, maybe.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like if you're just like sitting there blowing out, you're then about to get
I'm like trying to like keep,
because you're still like, in a sense, you got to inhale at some point too. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go the full 100 for sure. But definitely like contract the core as hard as you can when you're blowing out, and then bring in the vacuum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you happen to remember when was the longest vacuum you've had to hold on stage?
No, because once I hit my threshold, I'm letting it go. But I'm contracting the core.
Okay.
And so I'm doing a variation where the core is contracted, or I'm doing a variation where the chest is lifted, but I'm almost in like a front relax with my waist kind of
with your waist. Oh, gotcha.
Does that make sense? Because if you're lean enough, you're still going to be able to showcase the abs.
How lean it is. But at least that way you can still keep volume in your upper body.
Because you got to be, the thing people realize, man, this is a sport, man. And when you're on that stage, it's just like playing a game of basketball or a game of football. Like you got to be strategic, one with your opponents, but also with your posing. So you want to be able to strategize your endurance and your stamina. So I'm not trying to fight the judge. Oh yeah, I can hold this. Like, nah, if there's a certain amount of time, I know that I'm going to need this energy and stamina for the next few poses. So even if the judge is still like waiting to call the next pose, I'm just going to let go, hit this next variation, because it may be only for like a couple seconds before you call the next pose at that point, if you're holding that long. So I can conserve that energy, not almost like you don't want to burn through all the carbs. You filling out for the stage. You don't want to burn through all the energy, right? So you want to be able to be really strategic with your posing on stage, and what poses need the vacuum, what poses don't need the vacuum.
Gotcha.
There's a trade-off in everything, and that's what I wanted to talk about with posing. There's a trade-off in everything when it comes to posing, right?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. If you roll your shoulders too far forward, you can lose some back. Right. Someone else might have a better back with their shoulders rolled far forward, but you might lose a little bit of delt volume because you're not exposing a lot of that medial delt at that point, right? If you're hitting back pose and rolling your shoulders forward, so it's just an example there. Like there's a trade-off in everything, but when you find that right trade-off for your physique, that's when everything clicks.
Yeah. I think that was the perfect statement for posing.
Yeah,
for sure. That's the one that I'm always thinking of, because like, man, I'm always trying to find the balance of like how far to push my abs outwards when I'm doing say, for example, like a men's physique pose, or even like an ab and thigh pose. Like how much do I need to push my abs outwards for my abs?
Exactly.
Because unfortunately I don't have as much, my abs don't pop as much as like Ryan Terry's, or like, to be honest, most black dudes. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It seems like Filipinos.
And I mean, I'm the same. Like I could, and that's why I've been working on my abs a lot, and I incorporate ab routine every facet cardio now since the Atlanta Pro Show. I just been working on the finer details, right? Where like I know that it's being left on the table. It's like, well, I don't really do abs unless I'm training and I do maybe 1 or 2 sets. Well, what if I do abs after every fasted cardio session? What can that do to my ab detail, right? And that is going to carry over now. Those habits are going to carry over to your off season. So what you do now in prep is what you carry over to your off season. You don't stop. That's where people go wrong, because abs are going to be ultimately built in the off season more so than they are going to be built in prep. Right. You may get a little bit of something because you haven't been doing them at all. You're going to get something from that because you haven't been touching them. But your real abs is going to be built in the off season. Facts. So you just need to do more abs. You can get there. You can get them popping like Ryan Terry. It might not be the same structure, muscle bellies, but you get them pop for sure. 100%.
I used to hit abs maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and this last off season, I think I've only hit them maybe once or twice a week.
Exactly.
And it sucks because I was hoping that they would grow, but out of all my muscle groups seem to grow except for my abs, unfortunately. I don't think my abs improved at all this off season. So tells me one thing, I guess.
Exactly. You just got to be more consistent with it.
Yeah,
100%.
What was the last thing? Style.
Yes, sir.
Just super curious about this. So I was on stage kind of like thinking like, man, I need to figure out how to like remove all my piercings for like a good hour. I got one out. It was successful.
You are so funny, bro. Because I'm like, damn, that's like a stressor you just added to your plate on peak week.
Oh yeah, no, it's a huge stressor, bro. It's huge.
That's crazy.
But it is kind of cool to see though that they're becoming a lot more open with some jewelry and tattoos. It seems, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, I think I'm probably one of the people that's kind of like testing the waters. You know, I know there's other people out there that are seeing tattoos and stuff like that. But I even came with a pink hair at Arnold Classic, bro. Like, I had mascara on, bro. Like not mascara, but eyeliner, like rock star shit, painted nails. You know, and I literally went up to, I think with Steve. I said, "Hey, bro, do you think any of this affects my score?" He was like, "I don't care what you do." He said, "We're judging."
Oh, Steve said that?
Yeah, he said, "We're judging your physique."
Oh shit, Steve!
And he just kills everything.
That's fucking
all the misconceptions,
cool.
all the shit people talk online.
Fuck
bro,
yeah!
You can't dye your hair; it's gonna be distracting from your physique. All that, bro, is bullshit, bro. It's all these reporters that just want to have something to say on their channel, which I get it. It's their job to build controversy, to build conversation. But I wouldn't stress about it. I had dangling earrings at ATL Pro, you know, black nails, tattoos all over, you know, you got it. And placed second and could have won if I was 7 days leaner.
Which show is this? The Atlanta one?
Yeah,
or the Chicago? Atlanta?
Yeah.
That's sick.
I'm happy I'm able to be me. Like,
yeah.
And I honestly, like,
makes
I
me
do
happy
this
too.
because I like it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this like so people can look at me like, hey, oh my God, bro.
I know there's
fucking like, I don't know what it is. I like my matte black nails, bro. It just contrasts with my skin for some reason. And when I put my accessories on, it just makes everything pop.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I like tattoos. I like artwork. I like, you know, I like dyeing my hair, bro. It's just like, sometimes I'm tired of seeing the same shit every day in the mirror. Like, I just want to spice it up.
I feel the same too. I mean, I obviously do, but I know that it is a discussion, especially less today than it was before, but obviously of different cultures and their view of masculinity and what it means. And
100%.
I know that we're breaking through those barriers nowadays than ever before, which is something that 100%. I'm appreciative of. I can't understand how a lot of these structural norms will probably be consistent throughout time. Like there's always going to be people that will be judging for the nails. There will always 100%. Be people who will be judging for, like, I had one random comment on my YouTube video from some hater way back that was like, he literally listed down all of my piercings and accessories and shit that I have, and then was like, it's like Niall is like looking for attention or something with a laughy face or some shit like that. And I was like, no bro, I just fucking like to wear this. Like, I just like,
don't understand.
Like, I don't fucking care. Like, I know there's old people that'll look at me and like either be scared or not appreciate it, and I literally couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, the thing is, man, if you live your life based on everybody's opinion, how miserable would you be? Like, you'd be so fucking miserable.
Yeah.
You know, like, and those are the same people who are commenting these things. Their life is just so fucking miserable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I never ever want, and I teach this to my daughter, like, when obviously she's only 5. I try to kind of give her a little bit of value here and there that she can understand, but I want to make sure that she understands this value, that she needs to live her life. She should never live her life based on other people's perception or opinions, because that's only going to limit her wildest dreams. Yeah, like, I'm so serious about that. You know, one thing that I always wanted to do, and that I wanted to stay true to myself, was that I wanted to step into the person and the man that I wanted to be. And that vision of who I wanted to be, I held concrete, and I said, I will be this person. So I did. Slowly over time, I created that person. I became that person. I acted as that person. It just so happened that on the smallest level, which was the least important out of everything, because that person is someone that has high integrity, that is honest, that's transparent, that takes connection and presence with the people around him at its highest value. But on the lowest level, that person also tends to wear like piercings, has neck tattoos, does all this shit too. Yeah. And it's just a physical representation of the shit that I like, such as I fucking fuck with metal music and hardcore music. I like dubstep. I like wearing black. I like anime that's like really dark. I love Death Note. I love techno. I love hardcore techno. Want to go to Germany and Berlin, listen to some hardcore shit. Yeah, bro. And you know, the funny part is, if I'm speaking to a demographic that does want to discuss masculinity standards, well, I can say at least that stepping into the person that I wanted to be helped me find my dream girl, which is kind of cool, because she really is into all the things that shout out to her, man.
I am. She loves the style that I have. She's always been into that type of guy, and it just ended up happening to be who I am. And just wearing and doing what I do just signified that to her, and it was just easier for us to, I guess, be interested in each other and get to know each other. And now it's perfect. So hopefully it lasts, you know. Hopefully we keep it going. But
you guys are genuine from the start, so that's what makes it so much more beautiful. Yeah. Right? Instead of being that guy who is being someone he's not. Exactly. That he's like trying really to be someone that interested in, but she only sees you as someone that you're not even displaying as yourself. How miserable is that going to be like 5 years, 10 years from now? Most likely a divorce. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just say, hey man, live your life, bro. You create the world you live in. Right. So, and you live the life you put up with. So that's my thoughts on that.
Sick fucking podcast, bro. Sick.
Oh God.
I asked everyone one last question at the end of every podcast, but if you were to leave the earth tomorrow and you had one message that you could send to the entire world today, what would it be?
Damn, that's a good question. If I leave the world tomorrow, or leave the earth tomorrow, I had one thing to say. I think we kind of covered that in his last few statements, to be honest. Live the life you want to put up with. 100%. I think that encompasses everything. 100%. Create the world you want to live in. That'll be it for me. For sure.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
That was perfect. Thanks for coming on the podcast, bro. That was a fun one. That was really fun.
Yeah, man. It was dope, bro. It's nice to finally meet you, man.
Yeah, you too.
You know, definitely we got to keep this going, relationship going, man. And collab, whatever, man. I'm down for it.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome, bro.
Yeah, we get you. We need to do posing too.
I would love that. I need that. I need that.
100%.
Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Threads, and YouTube at Jarek_Crew. That is JAREK_CREW.
Sick.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching the podcast. If you guys would like to support us, you can by rating us as you know, 5-star on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you find your podcast. Subscribing to the YouTube channel and clicking the bell button, because that's what gets us sick guests like Jarek, where we can talk about everything that people don't talk about and discuss everything bodybuilding that we've ever wanted to know. So I love you guys. Thanks for listening. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Yeah.
The whole song.
Let's go.